We're back talking about the case of John Kinsel, and he's serving life without parole in prison on a case where he was convicted of raping a child and some other things. And, I'm being judicious in what I'm saying here because we can't say a lot of things on the air. FCC would just bleep me out and all, but he was convicted of molesting, raping, violating a child. Here's my problem with this. I have a lot of problems with this, actually. And Justin and Jason have problems with it working in this. Jason said, referred to my knowing a lot about jury dynamics, because that's what I did back when I had a real job. And I did spend a lot of time working with juries, and I did a postdoctoral fellowship in forensic psychology that kind of got me started down that road. And, prosecutors have a job, and the job is to bring about a just result. Their job is not to get a conviction. People think their job is to go in there and get a conviction. That's their job. That's not their job. Their job is to get a just outcome in a case. And if somewhere along the way they determine that they're prosecuting the wrong person, or they've got a bad set of facts, or they've done something they shouldn't have done, I don't care if they got 10 years into the case, they have a duty as an officer of the court to stand up and say, Your Honor, we've learned something during the pendency of this trial that causes us to say we need to stop these proceedings and back off. Their job is not to get a conviction. Their job is to get a just outcome. And if that means to drop charges, walk away, charge somebody else, whatever, that's their job. It's not to get a conviction. They lose sight of that because most of them want to spend time on the prosecution side and get a bunch of notches in their belt and then jump to the defense side so they can start making money. It's just the way it goes. That's the pattern. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that's the way it works. But their job is not to get a conviction. Their job is to get a just outcome. They may have lost sight of that in this case. The other thing I say is, think about this. I don't know if this case bothers y'all. If it bothers you, raise your hand. Okay, just focus group wise, it bothers you. Look, depriving someone of their liberty in America is at a very high standard. It's at a very high standard. And should it not be? If the government is going to come take you out of your life and put you in a cage, that should be at a very high standard. Has this met that standard? And I think the answer to that is no. There are reasons children recant. Their parents are upset with them. They feel guilty, like, oh my gosh. Or sometimes children that are molested blame themselves. Sometimes molested children, there are moments during that time that they have pleasurable experiences, and so they feel guilty about that. And so they think, really, I must have wanted this. And that's wrong. That's wrong-headed thinking, but they blame themselves. And so then they see a bad result coming, and so they can recant. She has persisted in this for 11 years. You're now married, right?
Yes.
You have children.
Yes.
She's an adult. She's thought through this. She's persisted in this across time.
You brought up a point about recantations with children, right? She wasn't a child when she recanted.
11 years she's been trying to do this.
Right. Well, I mean, at this point, what is it, 17 now, I guess? 15, 17.
I was 18
Yeah.
and 36.
Yeah. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.